Hello, this is Santi from Jest Paint and the Jest Paint Academy. Today we're going to be working on learning how to make your website ready for the AI LLM era. Learn how to get your website cited on AI searches. What is AI and what is LLM? AI stands for artificial intelligence and LLM stands for large language models. Examples of these are ChatGPT, Gemini, Perplexity. These are just some of the AI search engines that are likely to take over a large portion of all searches in the future. So you want to make sure that your website is properly optimized for this new technology. Now I want to be clear. Right now, a very small portion of all searches are happening on these AI or LLM engines. Still, this is likely going to increase, meaning the amount of people that are going to be searching on these engines is going to increase um, as this technology improves, advances, and as you start to be able to do more things on these engines. For example, sometime by the end of this year, you're likely going to be able to start shopping within ChatGPT for one item kind of things. So like a pair of shoes or I don't know, a laundry soap or whatnot. Walmart is in the process of launching these in-shopping within ChatGPT. So how are they different, these AI and LLM engines, compared to regular search engines? Well, people ask more conversational style questions, and the results don't come with links, but rather a reply with a citation or an AI generated content. What does this mean? That your website won't show up as it does on Google for people to click on it based on the relevance to the search. Instead, the AI LLM engine will construct an answer generated using the content found on the web or during its training, and then offer citations sometimes, meaning links to the sources it used to build that answer. So for example, if you search for example, what are the best face painters in New York, it's going to generate an answer based on information it can find online or information that it used to be trained in the past, and then build an answer based on that information. Sometimes it will cite the websites that it used to create that information to generate that. But remember, it's different than with Google searches, because on Google, traditional search results, Google is not generating or creating the content, the answer. It's simply listing different websites that can best be associated with a reply to that question. While AI is generating, meaning it's writing its own reply based on information it can gather and then using its own logic. So how do I prepare my website for that? How do you prepare your face painting website, your balloon twisting website, your henna website for that? All of the regular search engine optimization SEO work that you have done so far works. And if you haven't done any, we have a class about that on the Jest Paint Academy. It's not a free class, but it's a really useful class. So I recommend that you invest on that class and learn how to do regular SEO, because that is still very valid, very useful to do in order to get listed by websites, search engines, traditional search engines like Google. But you do need to add some extra work. AI and LLM engines have an easier time getting information from your website if you format it properly. So there's many ways in which you can format a website, meaning the back coding, from what people can see, not what people can see, but what's behind that. AI and LLM engines specifically like information that is formatted in a Q&A or a FAQ style, so question and answers or FAQ style. But that has to be done with proper coding. This code is called schema, markup, and JSON. Now, not every professional that is working on optimizing websites for AI and LLM agree on you needing to use schema markup and JSON coding to basically tell AI that what you have, the content you have on your web page is a question, is an answer, um, or it's a frequently asked question and an answer. But ChatGPT itself tells you that it's a good idea to have it formatted using schema markup and JSON, and when you Google that and see what other professionals, experts on the field are saying, most of them agree that you should use a schema markup and JSON, which are a form of code that it's easier to be identified and be read as a question and as an answer. So you're basically telling the engine, which also works with Google searches, you're telling the engine, this thing that I wrote here is a question. This thing that I wrote in here is an answer. So there's no need for interpretation. There's no need for the engine to try to determine if that is a question and that is an answer. You're just telling it literally. So what exactly do I need to do then? Well, you need to at least have an FAQ or Q&A section on your site, properly formatted, that would answer the typical questions someone looking for your services might ask an AI engine. So you have to get creative thinking about that, right? AI engines like for you to use typical questions in your industry, like for example, what is the best face painter in New York? Or please provide me the contact information for a face painter near Boulder, Colorado. So write questions related to that and then the answer. So think about which area you're located in, Chicago, LA, New York, etc. Think about what kind of questions do people uh, normally ask or would ask a search engine, but then try and type it in a way that is more conversational, right? Because on AI, we use more conversational style, writing style. And then add that information to your website in the form of questions and answers using the JSON schema markup coding structure. AI engines also like fresh information, and they prioritize that over older information because they think fresh means more up to date, even if that's not always the case. So updating your site regularly, like adding the year to the question, for example, what is the best face painter in New York in 2025, might help and indicate that this information is up to date. A once a month update to your most popular pages is ideal. So you can look on Google Analytics, what are your top 5, top 10 pages on your website, and then make sure that you're trying to keep those top 5, top 10 pages on your websites up to date. Not whenever you do an update to it, these engines and AI can determine that an update was done at a specific date. That kind of information is saved on the back end. But it's also good to add typical markups of those updates. For example, talking about the month and the year that you're adding that information on, because it just makes it even easier for the engine to be able to tell that it's up to date. So you should also improve your About Us page. AI and LLM engines like About Us pages that have a concise, short summary of who you are right at the top of the page. So not after a lot of information, not at the bottom, right at the top of the page. First thing that the AI engine is going to read, it should be that very short summary that clearly explains who you are, what you do. So you have to have some bullet points that cover the most important information about your company. You can add extra information afterwards to help with regular SEO, but for the AI engines, you want simple bullet points with the key information. An example would be, for example, we are an entertainment company offering face painting and glitter tattoo services in the Chicago metro area. We have been providing professional face painting and body art services since 2010. We have 3 professional face painters that can come to your event, birthday party, fundraiser, etc. So on those 3 little bullet points, we cover what do you do, what do you offer, where do you offer it, how long have you been doing it, which gives us like an authority kind of sensation, right? It says I'm somebody that you can trust. And we have mentioned what kinds of events you do. That's just a few of the things that you should have, but you definitely should have more information, key information. Think about what it's like kind of like the elevator pitch for your business, like what do you do, who you are, why are you the best at it, where do you provide those services, that kind of information. So we're talking about, okay, you need to format this information in a way that AI engines, LLM engines can quickly interpret that that's a question, that's an answer. How do I get that code? Well, ChatGPT is your friend here. You can ask ChatGPT the following question and it will provide you with the code. You can also ask ChatGPT to explain you how to insert it on your site and use it. So you can actually type exactly these on ChatGPT. Please provide me with a simple code that is optimized for AI LLM engines for FAQ section without any effects, that has the right schema markup and JSON code so it is seen as an FAQ. Please leave space holder for a question and a answers that say right question here, right answer here. So if you type that, what ChatGPT is going to provide you with is an HTML little window that you're going to see. It says copy code. Just wait until it's loaded completely. And you're going to be able to just copy that HTML code there that is going to have inside of it some JSON and some schema markup code. And it's going to have in there space holders that will say right question here, right answer here. So that's where you're going to erase that little part without erasing any of the code and write your question there, and then erasing the right answer here and write your answer there. You have to be very careful not erasing anything else up from the code because otherwise it's not going to work. ChatGPT is going to offer you after that, like it always does. Do you want to improve these? Do you want to add that? Do you want to just stick with that very, very basic code? Because the more you add to the code to make it look interactive, different colors and whatnot, the heavier it gets, the longer it takes to load when people land on that page, and then you get penalized by like Google, for example, that doesn't like heavy pages that take long to load. So just keep it basic. Don't follow with the 50 questions that ChatGPT is going to ask you, because it's never ending about how other ways that it can improve that. Now, there's also something very important in this AI LLM era, which is user-generated content, sometimes referred to as UGC. User-generated content like reviews, questions and answers, social media posts mentioning your business, pictures posted online mentioning your business, etc. are favored by AI LLM engines. Figure out a way to get your customers talking about you, mentioning your business name every time possible on the reviews or in social media posts, on pictures that they share. The more time your business is mentioned, the more information is out there for AI and LLM engines to pick up and work into the responses. So you have to think that AI and LLM engines are basically looking for your business name out there and everything that's related to your business name. Every time they see your business name mentioned or your website mentioned, it's like an information trigger point for them that they can look into and say, okay, what did this person say about this particular business? And I'm going to use that information, I'm going to gather it, collect it all to create my own answers. This helps create a brand presence within the AI LLM engines and within regular search engines as well, which is a very important aspect of what AI and LLM engines consider when choosing who to recommend. So if your brand has a strong presence within the user-generated content, it's a lot better than those brands that have basically no user-generated content. So you want to encourage customers to leave reviews and mention your business in that review. And in order to do that, what you could do is have a prompt that encourages customers to use your business name. So when you send a review request, you can ask them to say, please make sure you mention our business name within your review, as that helps us with our efforts to become more relevant within AI, LLM engines, and Google searches. And you can encourage people to post pictures on their Instagram or Facebook and tag your business. You can encourage them to, if you have a Q&A section on your website where people can ask questions and they get posted online, and then you can reply, and that information is seen on your website. It's a great add-on. There are many apps that offer that service, so that you can have a section where users can ask a question and you can reply back, and all that is posted there, because that is information that it keeps getting updated as new users ask new questions. And you can even feed questions yourself to that app that you would like to be like extra information that you want your customers to be able to find if they're doing a search. So in that case, you're basically making your own question and then replying yourself. Promote yourself with data as much as possible. Although this might feel like going back to the SEO strategies from the early 2000s, where you would write things like, my business is the best business for face painting because of this, because of that, and because, Google was searching for keywords like best face painting business for, and so you were providing a literal answer. Currently, at this moment, and this can change, AI and LLM engines favor easy to digest information that clearly relates your brand to positive things. They will certainly get more sophisticated in the near future, but as of right now, this works. And there's nothing wrong with it. So mentioning as often as possible within your own website how great your brand is, how many 5-star reviews you have, how many recognized customers you work for, if you work for like large corporations or businesses or nonprofits, or famous people that you're allowed to mention, how many times you have been featured on important publications, like on important blogs or even news websites or uh, TV shows, etc., and any other form of self-promotion based on specific data values. How many events do you do per year? How long have you been in business for? Exactly how many, I don't know, 5-star reviews do you have on Google Maps, etc. These all will help AI and LLM engines build a brand image for you. And repetition is your friend here, since as of right now, AI is looking basically at how often they can find similar information online about you. Because the more often, the more likely they will consider it relevant. So if AI can find 7 different pages that says that your business in particular is the best face painting business in this particular area, and it has 5-star reviews because of these or because of that, and it finds it, like I said, in about 7 different pages, then basically what AI is thinking is like, okay, so this was said in 7 different times. It's likely correct. It's likely true. I'm going to generate an answer to reply to whatever a potential customer is asking using this information. And likely you might be cited. Your website might be linked over there at the bottom or at the side to say, hey, I got this information from here. And customers can ask for citation. I often do. If I'm working on ChatGPT, I might ask, can you cite your sources? Because I want to make sure that this is not a made up kind of thing. Just don't repeat yourself word by word. Keep adjusting the language, but promoting the same things, okay? If you don't want exact replicas on every single page of your website, because that's not good, and that might kill your SEO, your search engine optimization. Compare all you can. AI and LLM engines love comparisons right now. They love knowing why A is better than B and why C is different and why D might work best in this or that situation. Make it a priority to create content that compares the different kinds of services you offer. Face painting, glitter tattoo stencils, waterproof face painting, henna, balloon twisting, magic, whatever it is, and why one is better than the other for certain situations. Like, for example, using your water-resistant face paint services is better for pool parties rather than your regular face painting service, though it's equally as good as glitter tattoo stencils or a henna, but compare why one might be better or different for a pool party, for example. Why is waterproof face painting different than glitter tattoos and different than henna, although all 3 of them could potentially be water resistant, and explain the cons and the pros and the differences. Or why choosing glitter tattoos might be best if kids will also be at a pool or a bounce house. Compare yourself with other potential providers. Don't name and shame here. That's not the goal. Simply refer to them as other providers. Saying why booking with you is better because you're insured, or because of how many years of experience you have, how many artists you manage, or how great your reviews are compared to others. Again, you don't have to mention specific competitor here, just in general. But these comparisons are a really, really great way of helping AI get more information about your business and about your services in a way that AI likes, which is comparison, because a lot of times people go to AI in search for that information. What else should you know? In this AI LLM era, we are starting to lose control of our customer's journey, and it becomes less and less clear where information comes from. So you need to have new ways to make sure that once a customer has contacted you or used your services, you can stay in touch with them without depending on them finding you again on a search engine or AI search. For example, make sure your business cards and your setup have an easy to read QR code that sends customers to a page to sign up for your newsletter, right? So first of all, have an excuse to give out your business card. A lot of face painters include cleaning instructions on their business cards, so they have a reason why to give that physical business card that is promoting your business to someone. So you say, I'm not, trying to promote myself here. I'm just simply giving you clean instructions. But then in there, you can have a little QR code that they're free to generate. Even Chrome itself can generate you a QR code for any link, and it directs them to your website, but best of all, to a newsletter sign up page so they can stay in touch with you with any updates that you can provide. Once you have their email address, you won't depend on them finding you for their next event, as you can keep in touch with them regularly with updates about new services, new artists, public events you will be working at, etc. And if the event they hire you for is something that happens every year, like for example a birthday party or anniversary or a corporate event that repeats year after year, you can put calendar reminders on your end to send them an email near that day every year to offer your services. So once you have them on your database, it's a lot easier to stay in touch with them, and you're not depending on them finding you. Okay? So those are simple things that I think you can start doing today to make sure that your website is optimized for AI and LLM engines while we wait to see what else is going to happen in the AI world and how things are going to evolve. Things are not static, things are going to change. What is good advice today may be different from what is good advice tomorrow. But as of right now, these are key things that you can start getting, you can start doing right now to be at least first ones, within your industry, to get listed within AI results. And just stay up to date, keep reading. If we find new information, I'm sure we're gonna, add that to our blogs, our classes, free ones or paid ones. So just keep up to date. Make sure that you're signed up to our newsletter as well, so that you can get all the information you need when we're ready to give it to you. Thank you so much. I hope this class was helpful. Make sure to leave a comment with any questions you might have, any information, any reviews that you want to give us about this class. It's going to be posted on YouTube. And make sure you mention the Jest Paint Academy and Jest Paint on that answer. Thank you so much and have a great day.